Hello and welcome back to the Azure DevOps course. In this lesson, we will install the deployment agent on the Azure VM so we can deploy to it, and we'll create the release pipeline to deploy on the Azure VM. So let's go to the Azure DevOps portal, click on deployments groups. To deploy from Azure DevOps to any external server, you need a deployment group. A deployment group contains the target machines, so you can deploy to different machines in the same time. So you can choose the target that is inside the deployment group, or you can deploy to all the targets in the deployment groups. So it's like a pool. This pool consists of a lot of machines that we are connected to, and we can deploy to all of them. So let's create the deployment group, name it Azure VM server. And now we have to register our first target. To register the target is the Azure VM. Click on use personal access token for authentication. We should run this script as administrator in the Azure VM. So we can connect to the VM from Azure DevOps and deploy to it. So we should use this script. This script will install a deployment agent, Azure DevOps deployment agent on the Azure VM. So we can connect to the agent and deploy on the Azure VM. So I will copy the script now and return to our RDP connection on the Azure VM and open PowerShell as administrator. And paste the script. Enter. Click enter. Now the deployment agent is installed. To check it also, we can go in the start menu, type services, open services. We will see our Azure Pipelines agent is installed. Okay, we can return back to Azure DevOps and click on targets. Now we have an healthy target, shopping front end healthy target. So now the Azure VM is connected to our Azure DevOps. So we can proceed with creating the release pipeline that will deploy our .NET Core web application on the Azure VM. So click on releases, new release pipeline. Click on IIS. We will use IIS website deployment task, and we will keep it in the staging environment. I will name it as Azure VM release. Reminder, the project I'm working on Azure DevOps course is a public project. All the releases and pipelines, you have access to it, and you can view all the pipelines and releases and the repos. So it can help you investigating and learning more. So click here to add the artifact. We'll choose the CI pipeline we created. So it gets the artifact from it. Click on variables, click on variable groups. I will link the front end staging with the staging stage. So it can fetch the page title from it, and click on tasks here. We need to add the replace token task, so it can replace the token pattern with the page title variable. Make it before them. And now that is the IIS website deployment template parameters. This is the default parameters. We will use the action create or update to create the website or update it. The website name, we will leave it as default website because that is the default website installed on IIS that we can access using the IP only without host name. And that's the binding. I clicked here to edit the binding. We will use HTTP protocol, and we will access the web server using the IP address and the port, and we will not use a host name. So that's why you are using the default website. If we try to create a new website with the same binding, it will give error because there is a website which is a default that contains the same binding. So you can't have two websites with the same binding. So click OK. So that's all for the template parameter. Click here to choose the deployment group. That's the deployment group we created that contains our target, which is the Azure VM agent. So now the deployment will run on our VM server. The replace tokens will make it the same as the last lectures. Okay. Strict.json. The same token pattern. And that's good now. Click on IIS Web App Manage. Nothing have to be changed here. on iOS web app deploy, we should choose here the artifact that will be deployed, the folder, drop, shopping print end. Now we choose our artifact folder. Now we can create the release and see the results. Create release, create. It's initializing the job now. The first initialization job will take about 3 or 4 minutes, so we have to wait for it. The initialized job has finished in 2 minutes. Now it downloads the artifact. So the release have succeeded. Let's try to access our website. We'll access it from this public IP address, the VM public IP address. Copy it and try to access it now. So that's good. Everything works fine and the website is deployed as expected. We have learned in this lecture how to install deployment agent on Azure VM server, how to make a release pipeline to deploy on iOS web server. So I hope you enjoy it and see you in the next lecture.